Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln Wheat Penny coin that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and historically rich small coins ever produced by the United States of America, the rare Lincoln 1-cent 1946 wheat penny. This is not just a simple copper coin. This penny carries deep history, post-World War II significance, collector excitement, and hidden details that many people still overlook. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of discovering something valuable in your pocket change, then listen very carefully and enjoy every moment of this video. The year 1946 was a very special time in American history. World War II had just ended, soldiers were returning home, industries were shifting back to peacetime production, and the United States Mint resumed normal coin production after years of wartime changes. The Lincoln Wheat Penny of 1946 represents hope, recovery, and a new beginning for the nation. That alone makes this coin special to collectors, but there is much more beneath the surface. This penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's calm and dignified expression reminds us of unity and strength during times of hardship. On the back, the famous wheat ears surround the words 1 cent, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural growth. This wheat design was used until 1958, making the 1946 issue part of the final era of classic American penny design. Now let's talk about what makes the 1946 wheat penny truly interesting to collectors. First, this coin was minted at 3 different locations. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins show a small D, and San Francisco coins carry an S mint mark. Each mint produced different quantities, and this difference alone creates varying levels of scarcity and demand. The Philadelphia version is the most commonly found, but even common coins can become valuable in high condition. Denver and San Francisco issues are more desirable, especially when found with sharp details and original color. Many of these pennies were heavily circulated during the post-war years, which means finding one in excellent condition today is becoming more difficult with each passing year. Errors are where the excitement truly begins. Some 1946 wheat pennies were struck with off-center designs, where part of the coin image is missing or shifted. Others show doubled lettering, especially in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. There are also pennies with die cracks, where thin raised lines appear due to damaged minting dies. These errors were not intentional, but they create unique coins that collectors eagerly search for. Another important factor is the metal composition. By 1946, the mint had returned to the traditional copper alloy after experimenting with steel cents in 1943. This return to copper adds desirability, especially for collectors who focus on transitional periods in U.S. coinage history. Condition plays a massive role in value. A worn penny with faded details may only be a historical keepsake, but a coin with strong details, sharp wheat lines, and original reddish color can be a collector's dream. Coins graded in uncirculated condition are far rarer than most people realize, especially after decades of use. For coin lovers and collectors, the 1946 wheat penny is a perfect example of how an ordinary-looking coin can become extraordinary. It teaches patience, attention to detail, and respect for history. Every scratch, every mark, and every shine tells a story of where the coin has been and who may have held it. So the next time you come across an old penny, do not ignore it. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, and the condition. That small copper coin could be a silent witness to history and possibly a valuable addition to your collection. Now, let's talk about value. In real market conditions, a circulated 1946 wheat penny is usually worth only a few cents above face value. However, coins in excellent uncirculated condition can be worth several dollars. Rare error examples and high-grade coins have sold at auctions for amounts ranging from tens of dollars to several $100s, with exceptional specimens reaching values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed learning about this historic coin, make sure to watch till the end, subscribe to History Coins HD, and keep exploring the hidden treasures of American coinage. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth far more than 1 cent. Coin number 2. We are diving deep into a classic American coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand: the United States of America rare Lincoln 1-cent 1950 Dewey penny. This small copper coin carries a powerful story of post-war America, mint history, collector demand, and hidden details that can transform an ordinary penny into something truly special. If you are a coin lover, collector, or someone who enjoys discovering hidden value in everyday objects, listen very carefully and enjoy this journey. The year 1950 marked a turning point in the United States. The country was rebuilding after World War II, industries were booming, and everyday Americans were using coins like this wheat penny in their daily lives without knowing they were holding a future collectible. The Lincoln Wheat Penny of 1950 was struck during a time of stability and growth, making it an important historical piece that reflects America's economic confidence. The design is instantly recognizable. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait symbolizes unity, leadership, and resilience. His image had already been part of American coinage for decades by this point, making him a familiar face to every citizen. On the reverse, the twin wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, a design that represents abundance and tradition. This wheat design would soon disappear in less than a decade, adding extra importance to late-date wheat pennies like the 1950 issue. What truly sets this coin apart is the small letter D beneath the date. This indicates the Denver Mint, and the 1950 D wheat penny has long been discussed among collectors. While not the lowest mintage of the wheat penny series, it gained a reputation for being scarce in higher grades. Many of these coins entered circulation immediately and were heavily used, resulting in worn surfaces and loss of detail over time. Collectors focus strongly on condition when it comes to this coin. Finding a 1950 D wheat penny with strong details, full wheat lines, and original copper color is far more difficult than it may seem. Coins that avoided circulation and remained in rolls or collections are highly desirable today. Errors are another reason this penny captures attention. Some examples show repunched mint marks, where the D appears doubled or slightly misaligned. Others display off-center strikes, weak strikes, or die cracks caused by worn minting equipment. There are also coins with doubled lettering, particularly noticeable in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. These errors are accidental, but they turn an ordinary coin into a unique collectible. Another fascinating aspect is the psychology behind this coin. For many years, rumors circulated that the 1950 D wheat penny was extremely rare, causing people to hoard them. While millions were actually minted, this hoarding behavior reduced the number of coins that stayed in circulation, increasing demand among collectors decades later. This story alone makes the coin legendary in American numismatic culture. For collectors, this penny represents more than just value. It represents knowledge, patience, and the excitement of searching. Coin lovers often check their change, old jars, and inherited collections hoping to find a well-preserved example or an error variety. The thrill of discovery is what keeps collectors passionate and engaged. As you watch this video, imagine the journey this coin has taken. From the Denver Mint to busy American streets, from shop counters to collectors' albums, each penny carries decades of silent history. Holding one connects you directly to the past. Now let's talk about value. In today's real market, a circulated 1950 D wheat penny is usually worth only a small amount above face value. However, coins in strong uncirculated condition can be worth amounts spoken in the range of several dollars. Error coins and high-grade examples have achieved auction results spoken in the range of tens to hundreds of dollars, while exceptional specimens in top condition have reached values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed this deep look into the 1950 D wheat penny, subscribe to History Coins HD, keep listening carefully, and never stop searching. Sometimes the smallest coin can tell the biggest story. Coin number 3. We are taking a deep and careful journey into one of the most respected and quietly fascinating coins in American numismatic history, the United States of America rare Lincoln 1-cent 1940 wheat penny. This coin may look simple at first glance, but behind its copper surface lies a powerful story of pre-World War II America, San Francisco mint craftsmanship, collector demand, and rare details that every coin lover should listen to very carefully. Relax, enjoy the video, and let this coin tell its story. The year 1940 places us at a critical moment in history. The United States was preparing for uncertain global events, industries were shifting, and the nation stood on the edge of major change. Coins from this era were produced with care and strength, meant to last through heavy circulation. The 1940 wheat penny is a product of this exact moment, making it historically meaningful even before we talk about rarity or value. On the front of the coin, Abraham Lincoln appears with a calm but determined expression. His portrait represents unity, leadership, and endurance, values that mattered deeply during this period. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears design, symbolizing growth and stability. This classic wheat penny design would later be replaced, making all wheat cents a cherished part of American coinage history. What makes this coin stand out is the small S mint mark beneath the date, indicating it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. Coins from San Francisco during this era are especially popular with collectors due to generally lower mintages and excellent strike quality. However, many of these coins were heavily used in daily commerce, which makes high-quality survivors much harder to find today. Condition is everything when it comes to the 1940 wheat penny. Most examples show wear, flat details, and darkened surfaces from decades of circulation. Finding one with sharp lettering, strong wheat lines, and original copper color is a true challenge. Collectors highly value coins that show minimal wear and strong eye appeal. Errors play a major role in making this coin exciting and sometimes expensive. Some 1940 pennies display doubled dies, or letters appear slightly doubled due to misaligned dies during striking. Others show off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin. Die cracks are also known, appearing as raised lines caused by worn or damaged minting dies. There are even examples with weak strikes, where certain details appear softer than normal, adding to collector interest. Another important detail is the metal composition. This penny was struck in a traditional copper alloy before wartime metal changes occurred just a few years later. Coins from this pre-war copper period are especially appealing to collectors who focus on transitional history in U.S. coinage. For coin lovers, the 1940 wheat penny is not just about money. It is about the hunt, the learning, and the connection to the past. Every collector remembers the first time they spotted an S mint mark under a magnifying glass. That moment of excitement is what keeps people searching through old collections, jars, and inherited coins. Imagine how many hands this penny passed through. Grocery stores, gas stations, newspapers, and homes across America. It quietly witnessed history while doing its job as everyday money. Today, it rests in albums, holders, and collections, admired for both its beauty and its story. This is why collectors listen carefully when coins like this are discussed. Knowledge turns ordinary coins into extraordinary discoveries. The more you learn, the more valuable your collection becomes, not just in money, but in meaning. Now let's talk about value. In today's real market, a circulated 1940 wheat penny is generally worth only a modest amount above face value. Examples in strong uncirculated condition can be worth amounts spoken in the range of several dollars. Error coins and high-grade specimens have achieved auction results spoken in the range of tens to hundreds of dollars, while rare top-quality examples have reached values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed this story, stay tuned, subscribe to History Coins HD, and keep listening carefully. Sometimes the quietest coins carry the loudest history. Coin number 4. We are stepping into a dramatic moment in American history through a small copper coin that carries far more meaning than its size suggests. The United States of America rare Lincoln 1 cent 1942 wheat penny. This is not just a penny. This coin was born during a time of global tension, wartime preparation, and massive change. If you are a true coin lover or collector, listen very carefully, because this story blends history, rarity, minting mysteries, and collector passion in a way that makes this penny unforgettable. The year 1942 places this coin right in the middle of World War II. America had entered the war, industries were transforming overnight, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce massive quantities of coins while conserving critical metals for the war effort. Every coin struck during this time reflects urgency, strength, and adaptation. The 1942 D wheat penny captures this exact moment in American history. On the front of the coin, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears strong and steady. His image reminded Americans of unity and perseverance during uncertain times. The reverse shows the classic wheat ears design, symbolizing nourishment, growth, and hope, values that mattered deeply during wartime. This design had been in use for decades, but coins from the early 1940s hold special significance because they were struck just before major changes in metal composition. The small D mint mark beneath the date tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver produced millions of pennies in 1942, but most entered heavy circulation immediately. Wartime spending caused these coins to pass rapidly from hand to hand, leading to significant wear. As a result, well-preserved examples are far harder to find today than many people realize. Rarity in this coin is not just about mintage numbers, it is about survival. Most 1942 D wheat pennies show flat details, weak wheat lines, and darkened copper surfaces. Coins that escaped circulation, retaining sharp details and original color, are highly desirable to collectors. Errors make this penny especially exciting. Some examples display doubled dies, where letters or numbers appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. Others show off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks caused by damaged dies working non-stop during wartime production. There are also weak strikes, where parts of Lincoln's hair or the wheat ears appear faint, adding to variety and collector interest. Another fascinating detail is the metal itself. 1942 was the final full year of traditional copper pennies before the famous steel cents of 1943. This makes the 1942 D penny part of a transitional period that collectors love. It represents the last moments before wartime necessity completely changed American coinage. For collectors, this coin is more than an object, it is a lesson. It teaches how history affects money, how errors are created under pressure, and how condition transforms value. Coin lovers often examine this penny closely under magnification, searching for small details that others overlook. Imagine this penny's journey. It may have been used to buy a newspaper reporting war updates, or passed across a counter during rationing years. It quietly witnessed one of the most intense periods in modern history while remaining a simple 1-cent coin. This is why listening carefully matters. Knowledge separates an ordinary penny from a meaningful collectible. The 1942 D wheat penny rewards those who study, observe, and appreciate its story. Now let's talk about value. In today's real market, a circulated 1942 D wheat penny is generally worth only a small amount above face value. Examples in strong uncirculated condition can be worth amounts spoken in the range of several dollars. Error varieties in high-grade coins have achieved auction prices spoken in the range of tens to hundreds of dollars, while exceptional top-condition examples have reached values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed this deep dive into wartime coinage, subscribe to History Coins HD, keep listening carefully, and never stop searching. Sometimes the smallest coin carries the weight of history. Coin number 5. We are focusing on one of the final and most talked about coins of the classic wheat penny era, the United States of America rare Lincoln 1-cent 1957 D wheat penny. This coin comes from the closing chapter of a legendary design and holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. It may look like a simple copper penny, but its story, its details, and its hidden potential make it a coin that every coin lover should listen to very carefully and truly enjoy. The year 1957 was a time of confidence and growth in America. The country was moving forward after the hardships of war, technology was advancing, and everyday life was changing rapidly. During this period, the wheat penny was nearing the end of its long journey in American coinage. Just 1 year later, the reverse design would change forever. This makes the 1957 wheat penny one of the last chances to own a piece of classic American coin history. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears familiar and dignified. By this time, his image had become a symbol of trust and stability in U.S. money. The reverse shows the iconic wheat ears for one of the final times, representing abundance and tradition. Knowing that this design would soon disappear makes late-date wheat pennies especially meaningful to collectors. The D mint mark beneath the date tells us this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. Denver struck a large number of pennies in 1957, but most were released directly into circulation. These coins were used daily, dropped into pockets, scraped across counters, and spent without a second thought. Because of this heavy use, finding examples with sharp details and clean surfaces is far more challenging today than many people expect. Collectors pay close attention to condition on the 1957 wheat penny. Worn examples are common, but coins with full wheat lines, strong lettering, and original copper color are highly desirable. Red and red-brown examples that avoided circulation stand out strongly in collections. Errors add another exciting layer to this coin. Some 1957 pennies show doubled dies, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled due to a misaligned die during striking. Others may display repunched mint marks, die cracks, or weak strikes. These errors happened as the mint worked at high speed to meet demand, and each error creates a unique coin that collectors love to search for. Another important detail is the metal composition. This penny is made from the traditional copper alloy used for decades before modern changes. Coins from the final years of this composition are popular because they represent the end of an era, both in design and material. For coin lovers, the 1957 wheat penny is about more than rarity. It is about closure. It marks the final moments of a design that served America for nearly 50 years. Holding one feels like holding the last page of a long and important story. Imagine where this penny has been. It may have been used to buy a loaf of bread, a newspaper, or candy from a corner store. It traveled through American hands at a time when the future felt bright and full of promise. Today, it rests in collections, quietly admired for what it represents. Listening carefully to coins like this teaches collectors how history, minting pressure, and condition all work together to create value. The more you understand, the more rewarding the hobby becomes. Now let's talk about value. In today's real market, a circulated 1957 wheat penny is usually worth only a small amount above face value. Examples in strong uncirculated condition can be worth amounts spoken in the range of several dollars. Error varieties in high-grade coins have reached auction results spoken in the range of tens to hundreds of dollars, while exceptional top-quality specimens have achieved values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed this final era wheat penny story, subscribe to History Coins HD, keep listening carefully, and keep searching. Sometimes the end of a story is the most valuable part. Coin number 6. We are uncovering the story of a classic American coin that quietly connects everyday life with powerful history, the United States of America rare Lincoln 1-cent 1941 wheat penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another old copper penny, but for collectors and coin lovers, this coin carries depth, mystery, and a strong connection to a world on the edge of change. Listen very carefully, relax, and enjoy this journey through one of the most meaningful wheat pennies ever produced. The year 1941 is unforgettable in American history. It was the final calm before the storm, just before the United States officially entered World War II. Life was still normal for many Americans, but tension was building across the world. The Lincoln Wheat Penny of 1941 was minted during this exact moment, making it a true snapshot of America just before everything changed. That historical timing alone gives this coin special importance. The front of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity, strength, and leadership. His portrait had already become deeply trusted by the American people. On the reverse, the two wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, representing growth, stability, and the backbone of the nation. This wheat design had been part of American life for decades, and coins from the early 1940s are especially meaningful because they were struck right before wartime metal shortages reshaped U.S. coinage. The 1941 wheat penny was struck at multiple mints, and collectors carefully study mint marks to understand rarity and demand. Many of these pennies entered circulation immediately and were used heavily. They passed through shops, homes, gas stations, and factories, slowly wearing down their details. Because of this, well-preserved examples are far more difficult to find today than most people realize. Condition plays a major role in the desirability of this coin. Most surviving examples show smooth surfaces, flat wheat lines, and softened lettering. Coins that still display sharp details, strong wheat ears, and original copper color stand out dramatically to collectors. These higher quality pieces are the ones that truly excite the market. Errors add another layer of fascination. Some 1941 wheat pennies show doubled dies, where parts of the lettering or date appear slightly doubled due to minting misalignment. Others may show off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or fine die cracks caused by worn dies under constant production pressure. Each error tells a story of how the coin was made and why it is unique. Another reason collectors love this penny is its metal composition. It was struck in a traditional copper alloy just before the mint began making emergency wartime changes. Coins from this period represent the final moments of normal production before history intervened. That transition makes the 1941 wheat penny especially attractive to collectors who value historical context. For coin lovers, this penny is more than an object. It is an experience. It invites careful listening, close inspection, and patience. Many collectors remember the excitement of spotting a clean 1941 wheat penny in an old collection or inherited box. That moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so rewarding. Imagine where this coin has been. It may have bought a newspaper announcing world events, passed through the hands of workers, or rested in a pocket as history unfolded. It silently witnessed one of the most important years of the 20th century while remaining a humble 1-cent coin. This is why learning matters. Knowledge transforms common coins into meaningful treasures. When you understand the history, errors, and condition factors, you begin to see value where others see only spare change. Now let's talk about value. In today's real market, a circulated 1941 wheat penny is generally worth only a small amount above face value. Examples in strong uncirculated condition can be worth amounts spoken in the range of several dollars. Error varieties in high-grade coins have achieved auction results spoken in the range of tens to hundreds of dollars, while exceptional top-condition examples have reached values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to History Coins HD, listen carefully to every coin you find, and keep exploring. Sometimes the smallest penny carries the weight of history. Coin number 7. We are stepping into the very final chapter of one of the most loved coin designs in American history, the United States of America rare Lincoln 1-cent 1958 wheat penny. This coin is not just old copper, it is the last voice of a legendary era. When you hold a 1958 wheat penny, you are holding the ending of a story that lasted for nearly 50 years. Coin lovers, collectors, and history fans should listen very carefully, because this penny carries emotion, rarity, and hidden surprises that make it truly special. The year 1958 was a moment of transition in the United States. America was changing fast, society was moving forward, and even its coins were about to reflect a new identity. This was the final year the wheat ears design appeared on the Lincoln 1-cent. After this year, the design would change forever. That single fact alone makes the 1958 wheat penny incredibly important to collectors around the world. On the front of the coin, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears calm and familiar, a face Americans had trusted for generations. By this time, Lincoln had become more than a president on a coin, he was a symbol of continuity. On the reverse, the wheat ears stand proudly for the very last time, representing tradition, growth, and the roots of the nation. Knowing that no more wheat pennies would be struck after this year gives this coin a powerful sense of finality. Most 1958 wheat pennies were used immediately in everyday life. People spent them on candy, newspapers, and bus fares without realizing they were spending the last of a historic design. Because of this heavy circulation, many coins show wear, dark toning, and weak details. High-quality examples that avoided circulation are much harder to find today and are especially attractive to collectors. Rarity in this coin comes from condition and special varieties. Sharp details, full wheat lines, and original copper color significantly increase collector interest. Coins that still show bright red surfaces or clean red-brown tones are highly desirable. These survivors are a reminder of how fragile history can be. Errors make the 1958 wheat penny even more exciting. Some coins show doubled dies, where the lettering or date appears doubled due to misalignment during minting. Others have die cracks, weak strikes, or off-center designs caused by worn or stressed equipment at the mint. As production pushed toward the end of the wheat penny era, these small mistakes created unique coins that collectors carefully search for today. Another fascinating aspect is the emotional value. Collectors often view the 1958 wheat penny as a farewell coin. It represents the closing of a chapter that began in 1909. Many collectors feel a strong connection to this penny because it symbolizes tradition giving way to modern design. Imagine where this coin has traveled. It may have passed through countless hands, sat in drawers, or been saved unknowingly in jars. It lived through a time of optimism and change, quietly doing its job as money. Today, it rests in collections, admired not just for what it is, but for what it represents. For coin lovers, this penny teaches an important lesson. Not all rarity is about low numbers. Sometimes rarity comes from being the last of something great. Paying close attention, listening carefully, and learning the story behind a coin can turn a simple penny into a treasured piece of history. Now let's talk about value. In today's real market, a circulated 1958 wheat penny is generally worth only a small amount above face value. Coins in strong uncirculated condition can be worth amounts spoken in the range of several dollars. Rarer varieties and high-grade examples have achieved auction results spoken in the range of tens to hundreds of dollars, while exceptional top-condition specimens have reached values spoken in the range of thousands of dollars at major auctions. If you enjoyed this final wheat penny story, subscribe to History Coins HD, listen carefully to every coin you see, and remember, sometimes the last coin tells the most powerful story.